So today we decided to patronize a beauty school in our area. And I must say, Goodbaby and I apparently gave them a run for their money today because we felt it, y'all.
Cruising down the highway, windows rolled down. Good mommy and good baby, we wearing the crown. We're living the good life under open skies. Together we shine. Just look in our eyes. Every day's a blessing. Every moment's bright. In our RV home, everything feels right.
Hello.
Morning. 11:30.
Anything I want? No.
Oh. We packed our bags, hit the road, feeling free. Good mommy by my side, just good baby and me. With our travel trailer, it's a brand new start.
Yeah, I need a stand, right?
Every milestone,
No.
feeling
I'm not on.
cruising through the sunset. We feel so alive in this good life together. We always
It's been a long day.
It sure has. Oh my goodness.
Y'all, natural hair when doing RV life is not easy. It's doable, but it's not easy. It can be very messy, y'all.
Yes, and it takes so much space to detangle it.
Y'all see all the hair that Goodbaby has? And just imagine us washing her hair, having to detangle her hair, put conditioner on her hair, and then having to, comb that out, with all the sprays, moisturizers. Just, it's a lot, y'all.
And that's
It's a
not
lot.
even including the actual styling.
Exactly. So today we decided to patronize a beauty school in our area. You may be wondering, how did we find a beauty school? Because I don't know about y'all, but I have not been to a beauty school in years. Goodbaby, I don't think you've ever been to a beauty school to get your hair done. Yeah, she's never been to one. So it's been years. I didn't even, I know they still have beauty schools, but I just had not, patronized one. So for those of you all who have been with us for a while, you may remember me talking about getting my hair colored. I even asked you all, what did you think the best color was for my hair? And some of you commented on that particular video what color you think I should get. So I was thinking the other day, it was time for Goodbaby and I to get our hair washed, and I said maybe I'll get a color in my hair this time. And I started looking online to see where Goodbaby and I would go, being that we have moved to a different area in town. Well, I found a beauty school, and when I was looking at their reviews, they had rave reviews for the beauty schools. So I said, we'll patronize them and give them, some business so that they can practice their hair skills, which is great because you always want to give back to your community.
And upon our entrance, I was extremely impressed with the absolutely gorgeous interior of the beauty school. I mean, the building was humongous. They had a really nice front desk. It looked very clean on the inside.
So true.
The customer service of the people at the front desk was wonderful. And so immediately I had very high expectations.
I did too, honey. I was like, oh, this is nice. I mean, it was like walking into a really nice 5-star beauty salon, y'all. It was no joke. I mean, and we're not taking anything from them with our entrance because it was really, really nice.
It was. So then, even though I was originally just coming with Good Mommy to watch her get her hair done, she very kindly asked me if there was anything I wanted to get as well. And so I decided just to get something very simple, just a wash and a blowout. And I was extremely excited because it has been a very long time since I've gotten my hair straightened. For the most part, I just wear my natural hair and protective styles, but this was a super exciting opportunity because I was finally going to get my hair straightened again.
Yes, as Good Baby said, our arrival to the beauty school was exceptional. I mean, as soon as we walked in the door, we were greeted with amazing customer service. They were so sweet, bubbly, smiling, and they received us with sincere friendliness, y'all. It was just really nice. As Good Baby and I said, I had an appointment, as Good Baby stated. I was going to wash Good Baby's hair and do her hair, but I said it would just be good for Good Baby to get her hair done as well. Why not? We can both get our hair done. Now, being that Good Baby and I have 4C hair, it takes a very experienced, let me put it this way, it takes a very experienced beautician to be able to do our hair. I have gone to get my hair done many of days, y'all, and did not like it. It wasn't so much of the person not knowing how to do hair, but not knowing how to do 4C hair. Yeah, my hair. And I never really wanted Good Baby to experience that, but we experienced that today going to this beauty school. I really had high expectations because, as I stated, I had read some of the reviews, and the reviews were, as if they really knew what they were doing. And so I was like, okay, we'll give them a try. And I must say, Good Baby and I apparently gave them a run for their money today because we felt it, y'all. I'm not saying that is a bad reflection on the school. I'll just say, they're going to school, so they have some learning to do. But we gave them a really good, nice lesson today, y'all. So when we got to the school, the young lady who greeted us stated that she was going to do my hair, and they mentioned another stylist that would be doing Good Baby's hair. So I told the young lady, I said, oh, you're doing my hair, because she was at the front desk and she was so bubbly and so sweet. I was like, okay, great, So I go back to get my hair done, and then I see Good Baby coming back to get her hair done. So I was like, this is awesome. We came back at the same time, and we should hopefully be finished around the same time. And as I went to go and get my hair washed, I saw Good Baby coming back to have her hair washed. So I'm just like elated. I'm like, yes, yes, yes.
Yes, I was extremely happy as well for me and Good Mommy to be getting our hair done at the same time and kind of get pampered together.
Yes.
I was just so excited, and I figured that everything would be nice, quick, and easy, and it would just be a nice experience together.
Quick and easy, amen.
But it was definitely not quick or easy.
It was not quick or easy. Good Baby is so correct. Now, the stylist that I had, she seemed experienced. She seemed like she was a student, don't get me wrong, but she seemed more experienced than the average student. So I knew, based on how she was talking, that I should be okay. I was looking over my shoulder, looking at Good Baby, trying to make sure she was okay. But you know how they turn you around where you can't see what's going on in the back of you? So that was the scenario of what was going on. So my stylist asked what style I'd like. So I said, well, I'm coming to get a color. But Good Baby had mentioned before we went back that she saw on the pricing chart that I would have to have a patch test. Now, no one mentioned a patch test to me when I called to schedule the appointment. So I knew nothing about that. So I told her, I said, well, I was coming to get a color. And as I said color, she said, oh, you would have to have a patch test. And I was like, a patch test? I said, yeah, my Good Baby just told me about that. She said, yeah, so maybe the next time you come, you can get a color. Anything else you were thinking about getting? And so I said, well, I really wanted that color. I said, and I was also thinking about a little cut, So she was like, you've grown your hair out so beautifully. I wouldn't recommend a cut. So I was like, okay. And let me just bring up, prior to us going to the beauty school, I had told Goodbaby that I was thinking about getting a relaxer. Yes, y'all. I'm just getting tired of, not being able to wear my hair down. I want to wear my hair. I want to see my hair. And some of y'all may not understand, it's not easy having natural hair, especially staying in an RV.
Well, it's not so much natural hair, but it's the 4C hair. Because some people have natural hair, but it's thin. It's not just that it's natural, it's that it's thick and natural. That's what it is.
Yeah, so y'all heard Goodbaby. It's not that it's natural, it's thick and natural. So, and then my hair has grown so much. I just had my hair cut, maybe three months ago, and it's grown back already, y'all. And so, I mean, she gave me these, let me see what she called it, defined curls, okay? But she said, honey, your hair is long. She said, you have gone too far to cut your hair now. You want to keep growing your hair. She said it's nice, thick, and healthy, and you don't get a lot of people that has nice, thick, and healthy hair. And so I was like, okay, let me go ahead and keep it. She said, I tell you what, just keep it. The next time you come, if you still want it cut, then, we'll discuss the cut at that time. So I was like, okay, no problem.
And let me just say, I'm just so happy that Goodmommy stylist said that, because I am in 100% agreement. And Goodmommy knows that, because we talk about that all the time. Goodmommy has spent years growing out her natural hair, and I am so proud of her for just being able to keep it so healthy and strong. And of course, I know that Goodmommy can rock a short hairstyle just like she can rock a long hairstyle, but I just wouldn't want to see her erase her progress like that. She's worked for so long to get it to the length that it is now. Yeah,
I know. And I can pin it up if I want to wear it in certain styles, or I can let it down, or honey, I can put my lady on. Or if y'all don't know what my lady is, y'all think about what you put on your hair when you don't want your hair to show. And y'all will get it. But yeah, I can put my lady on. I can do so many things with my hair. Same with Goodbaby. She can do a lot with her hair as well. But we like to keep it up in our protective styles, because it's a lot that Goodbaby and I have to go through when we wear our hair down. Y'all may not understand, but it's a lot. And as Goodbaby just said, and as I've said several times, we don't want all of that hair in our space. We want it to be clean in here where we can function. Some people may not care if they have hair everywhere in their house. That's not Goodbaby and I.
So as for my first impression of my stylist, she immediately was very bubbly and cheerful. She told me her name and that she'll be doing my hair today, and she asked me the same question Goodmommy stylist asked her, just confirming that I wanted a wash with a blowout. Then she also asked me how long I'd like it to last. I was saying I want something that lasts short term, so then she confirmed about 2 to 3 days, not anything too crazy or permanent, but just a nice, cute, straight style that I can wear for a little bit to change it up a little. And so I was super excited to get something different than what I usually wear.
Amen. I'm laughing because, honey, the outcome, of the totality of everything is coming. Y'all give us time. We trying to explain to y'all our scenario of what happened. So that's the initial experience that we had. Now, going through the process with my stylist, she took me back to the back. As I stated, Goodbaby came back too to get her hair washed. So when we went back to the back, she explained everything she was doing, what she was putting on my hair, as far as the name of the shampoo and conditioner. And, she asked me if I like the water warm, if I like it hot, how do I like for the person to massage my scalp. She asked me all sorts of questions. She told me that she was the type of person where she can be a little messy at times and get water all in your face. So she asked if I wanted a towel on my eyes. I told her it wasn't a really biggie, but then I thought about an experience I had one time. So I said, yeah, go ahead and put the towel. Because she told me she's messy. So if she told me she's messy, I better take heed to that, right? I said, yeah, go ahead and put the towel over my eyes. So I could hear some of the other stylists asking if they could use some of the product that she was using. I'm not for sure of how she was responding to them, because she was so into washing my hair and it felt so good. And I just had a great experience as I was getting my hair washed. What about you, good baby?
So one thing that I was really excited about is that we got our hair washed about the same time. So shortly after Good Mommy went to the dryer, I went to the dryer as well. But before I talk about that, I want to backtrack a little bit to actually like putting down my hair, because of course you all know that I usually keep my hair in twists. So the students were kind enough to take our hair down before they actually put it in a new style. And so one thing I noticed immediately is that my stylist was having trouble with taking out my twists because of the way that they were tied up. And so that took her probably, I would say, about a good 15-20 minutes to take them down.
Yeah, I can hear Good Baby saying, Good Mommy knows how to take it down.
Yeah, because it was just such a struggle for her to like untie like the hair ties like that were at the top of my twist. And so at that point, like, I tried to even help her myself to detangle it, because I just saw that was gonna take a while. You know, she was going to the back to try to get different tools and nothing seemed to work. But finally, thank you Lord, the stylist that was sitting beside her came over and showed her, you know, that little comb with the really long and thin, like, what is it called?
I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of the name.
Yeah,
of it,
I'll put a picture of the kind of brush that it was on the screen so you all can visualize it. She just gave her that comb and she demonstrated, just use this comb to get it under the rubber bands.
And the way she was looking like, you don't know how to do that.
Exactly, like, yeah, like she.
I'm quite sure Good Baby was like, okay.
Yeah. I was just like, that should have already been a warning sign as to how the rest of the appointment would go. But I was trying to give her the
benefit. It's called a rat tail comb, right?
Oh yeah,
rat tail comb.
Yeah. But of course, I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt. I was like, you know, that was a little different, but maybe, you know, the style could still turn out really cute. So I was still excited. You know, we were having a nice little conversation, and we went over to the dryer. Now, as for how my washing experience went, it was a lot different from Good Mommy's in many ways. So one thing that I immediately noticed is that, of course, you know, the water felt good. She put it on a temperature that was pretty good. It wasn't super hot, but it was like a good warm, which is how I like my water. And she just said, let me know if the water's too hot. She put some shampoo on my hair, and I believe she did that like a couple times. But as far as I remember, I don't remember her putting conditioner on, or she may have put on a little bit, but I think what it was is that the bottle was almost empty. And so she actually had to ask for assistance from Good Mommy's stylist, who was right across from us, because they have 2 rows of dryers. So they have 3 on the side that I was sitting on, and then Good Mommy and 2 other dryers were across from me. And so Good Mommy's stylist helped my stylist to try to get some of the conditioner out of the bottle. And so she put a little bit of conditioner on my hair, but I could just tell by the way she was saying that it was empty that it probably wasn't enough to like cover the entire surface of my hair. And you know how like they usually give you like a really good massage like in your scalp? I mean, she was doing it a little bit, but she didn't really get in there into my scalp like I felt like she could have. Yeah. So, you know, it definitely feels clean, like definitely, like I can tell that I got my hair washed, but it's not like the luxurious experience that I'm used to when going to the salon. But I mean, she definitely did her job. I just feel like overall she could have been a bit more prepared with how much product she used, knowing that I had a lot of hair beforehand.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So as we came back to my stylist stationed area, her and I discussed what style I wanted, and we came up with, as I stated, these defined curls, which was going to take her a minute. So she explained to me right away that Good Baby would get finished way quicker than me because, you know, she was doing defined curls. So I told her, I said, it's okay, because I really didn't think it was going to take her too long to do defined curls. I've never had defined curls before. So I said, she's probably talking about maybe an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, the max. Anyway, she started on my curls, and it was looking really nice, and I was like, okay, she looks like she knows what she's doing. She was explaining the products that she was using. She was going to spray in some leave-in conditioner, and then she was putting some other leave-in conditioner on my hair as well. And so I was like, okay, she looks like she knows what she's doing, you know. As well, she had some gel. So she had some gel also. So I told her I don't like the gel that flakes. I didn't want, any flakiness in my hair. But if she had a gel that she wanted to use that did not flake, that would be fine. So she found the gel that she said did not flake. I'll be able to tell that. It kind of looked like, I don't know if that's the gray in my hair, silver in my hair, or if that's some flaking, probably some silver.
It's a silver,
yeah.
looks like.
A lot. Y'all look at all that silver in my hair.
It's so
OMG. Like, what in the world is going on? But anyway, I'm going to surprise y'all with the hair color that I'm considering once I get it. So y'all stay tuned for that. But, she was doing a great job. I didn't have any complaints at all. I could tell she knew what she was doing. How was your return to your stylist station, good baby?
Pretty much the polar opposite. And let me tell you all how. So immediately as we got back to our station, my stylist did not start off by detangling my hair. Now, she did detangle it prior to us going in the washer, but she did a very light detangle on the back section of my hair, which is where she started. So instead of detangling my whole head and then going on to use the heat on it, she just decided to detangle a small section, and she was working her way up from the back of my head to about the middle of my head. Now at first it seemed to be going pretty smooth because she was doing it in very small sections, but I started to notice as she got further up my head that the sections started getting a little bit bigger, because she said to me, for whatever reason, that I guess it was getting tangled. And I noticed as well she was going over the same section probably about 3 or 4 times. So she would take the section, she would straighten it with the heat, then she would get a comb and comb through it. She would go on the heat again, and then she would brush it again, and then she would get the next section. So it was like she was going over the same section multiple times. She was using a lot of heat, but it seemed as though the further she got up my head, the more tangled it was getting. By the time she got to about halfway up my head, I noticed that it was repeatedly getting tangled, and the way I could tell is she was using the heat on it. Then you know how like you can feel when there's like a tangle in your head, like you can just feel by the feeling of her pulling on it from like combing through it that it's not combed through all the way. I could feel it being combed through, but then it was tangled again. And then she kept having to use a comb to comb through it and then go back with the heat. It was just a lot of back and forth.
I know you're not used to that because I don't do it like that.
It was a lot of back and forth, and the heat did not feel great on my scalp. It was not very fun, but I was super excited at the same time because I was looking at it in the mirror and it was looking pretty good, and we were over halfway done at that point. So I was just kind of starting to feel relieved that it was almost over. But then, because it is a beauty school, they have a couple of instructors who pretty much walk around the whole building, look at what each of the stylists are doing. After they complete a step, it's the instructor's job to take a look at each client's hair and, recommend what the stylist maybe needs to do better. And so I guess one of the instructors saw that my stylist was struggling, and she came over and saw the way she was doing my hair, and she basically told her that the way she was holding my hair and the way she was detangling it was not correct. And so I was like, okay. I was just expecting her to continue where she left off, using the tip that the instructor gave her, because she's already over halfway done at this point. So of course I would think, like most reasonable people, since the part she had already done looked okay to me, I was thinking she would just continue where she left off and finish the hairstyle. But do you know that the stylist started from the very beginning? She pinned all of that hair she did. She was like,
you gotta be kidding
like
me.
halfway up my head, and she pinned pretty much the whole thing up with the part that she hadn't gotten to, and started from the very back of my hair and started detangling it again. So that would probably, like I would say, after an hour and a half of detangling, she had to start from scratch, and that was definitely disappointing, to say the least.
And I had the total opposite scenario. As Good Baby said, the instructor came over to the person who was doing my hair as well, and she noticed that the person was defining my curls with her finger when she should have been using a comb to define my curls with. So basically she was getting her finger and she was, defining my curls like this, in small sections, just like that. But instead of doing it like that, she should have been using a comb. Just say, for example, this is the comb, and defining it, like this. She didn't start from, because she was already, probably like halfway done with my hair as well. She left all of that as it was. As you can see, she did a great job back there with her fingers. And she got the comb and she started where she was at and kept going. And I noticed as she was almost finished with my hair, Goodbaby was still getting her hair done. And I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah.
So I started trying to look over where Goodbaby was at this time, because my stylist told me that Goodbaby would be finished with her hair way before me. So I was like, well, if I'm almost halfway done, Goodbaby should be finished by now. So I'm looking, but I'm noticing that Goodbaby's not finished yet. So I'm saying, well, she's a student. Maybe she needs more time, But, Goodbaby, I apologize that you had to go through all of that. I would have gladly changed and allowed the lady who was doing my hair to do your hair. Yeah. And I probably, knowing me, would have asked for another stylist, okay? Because I would not have gone through all that. But this, again, was Goodbaby's first time going to a beauty school. So she's not used to going to a beauty school. Normally, we go to a hair salon to get our hair done, or I'll wash our hair, depending on, what's going on at that time.
So after my stylist started from complete scratch, he did the exact opposite of what Goodmommy stylist did. And so instead of continuing where she left off, apparently, it didn't look tangled to me, but apparently she felt like she could do a better job if she did it again.
Maybe she thought that her instructor wanted her to start over.
Maybe. She didn't say that, because I was listening.
Wow.
Trust me, you all, I was listening. And she did not say that she wanted her to start over.
So basically, she corrected both of them, but your stylist started over and mine just continued.
From scratch.
Wow.
Exactly. And I really wish she wouldn't have done that, because I was actually thinking that she was going to flat iron my hair and it was going to be straight, because the lady behind me who was getting her hair done with the stylist who had helped my stylist with the comb when she was putting my hair down, she had her hair flat ironed. And so I was expecting something like that, because when I think of blowout, this is a form of a blowout, but I think of the straight blowout where you detangle it first and then you go in with the flattening iron. So that's just what I was expecting it to look like. And so was Goodmommy.
Right.
But by the time Goodmommy was almost finished with her hairstyle, because my hairstylist kept looking over at her to see where her hair was progressing, because she knew that by the time she was finished, she needed to be finished as well. And by the time Goodmommy was almost finished, she had barely finished my whole head, which she was not even finished with blow drying my hair. So, to say the least, the fact that she had to start again,
it was like a
slowed her down. Yeah. And so she didn't even have time to flat iron it. She told me, "I'm so sorry, but you have a lot of hair and it's very thick, and if I were going to flat iron it, it would take until the end of the day." And basically she didn't have time.
They were ready to go too. Yeah, you're right.
They were ready to go.
It was time for them to actually leave.
Yeah, because it was almost time for her to get off work.
Yeah.
Keep in mind though, you all, that we got there at 11:30.
Yeah.
That was the time of the appointment. In fact, we got there a few minutes before time.
Yeah.
And she got finished with my hair just a few minutes before the time she was supposed to get off work at 4:30. So that is 5 hours.
Yeah.
Now for Goodmommy, that may be a bit more reasonable, considering she had to take all these little strands and do a defined curl. But for a blowout, don't get me wrong, I know that I have a lot of hair. I know it's thick and I know it's long. But I've had a blowout before, and I've had my hair straightened before, and it's really didn't feel like it took that long.
It didn't.
For the stylist to do both of those things.
And she did my hair too.
Exactly.
The same stylist,
Exactly, on the same day.
Yeah, on the same day.
So that just goes to show that for 5 hours, I felt like she could have done a little bit more. But that just goes to show that she really was a student. And it seemed as though she was probably one of the newer students out of all the ones who were doing hair that day. So, it definitely was not what I was expecting. But at the very least, I'm thankful that I got my hair washed and detangled. And so even though I won't be wearing it out like this for that long, because it is a lot to, handle and maintain and detangle on a daily basis. I'm thankful that, I got to wear this style for today and get it into a state where it's nice, fresh, and clean.
So back to my stylist. She did a great job, and I really appreciated her doing my hair. I had asked Goodbaby stylist if she could do her edges. You know how the young people wear the edges where they,
Are swooped.
Yeah, are swooped. And she told me, oh, yes, I was going to do that anyway, but I guess she didn't know how to do it.
Oh, yeah. I forgot to talk about the edges, you all. Goodmommy had told me after she got out of the washer that she asked my stylist if she could do my swooped edges. And apparently my stylist said yes, because she said that she would do it for me.
Yeah.
And so basically when she got to my edges, after she had finally finished blowing out my hair, because at that point she had already known that she had no time to flat iron it, she took out her edge control, and instead of doing the swoops, she just kind of blended my edges into the rest of my hair, which is not what Goodmommy was talking about. But basically the excuse she gave was that when Goodmommy told her that, she was saying to herself, not to Goodmommy, mind you, but to herself, I hope she likes the natural edges and not the swooped edges, because I don't know how to do that. But mind you, she didn't tell me nor Goodmommy that was the case until she got finished. So at that point, I was just ready for her to get finished. I didn't even mention it to you all because I was so done by that point that I was just like, whatever you need to do, let me just get finished. And Goodmommy was already done, so I was just honestly so ready to go at that point.
Well, yeah, my stylist, I'll give her props. She did a great job. She's still learning as well, but I could tell, she was a mature stylist. And she will be graduating in December, so she's almost finished. But she did a great job. She told me I can separate my twists, and then I'll have what's called a twist out. I've never really had that type of style per se before. I've tried it myself, but it didn't come out as I thought it would. But hopefully this will come out, like a real twist out. But she did a great job. So it was hardly anything that we had to pay, y'all. It was very, very inexpensive.
Thank you, Lord.
And overall, I enjoyed the service that I got. I could tell Goodbaby is always grateful, y'all. Don't get me wrong, but I can tell, it
was not comfortable. That way.
That it was not something that she was expecting.
Yeah, but it just felt like she just had some maturing that she needed to do, not just personally, but also when it comes to like how she does hair. Goodmommy's stylist, not only was she older than a lot of the stylists there, so understandably, of course, because she was older, she's going to act more mature, but it just felt like she knew what she was doing more. And it felt like the conversation was a lot more mature and pleasant. And as you all can probably tell, I'm not the average 18-year-old, and so maybe she thought that because I'm an 18-year-old that I'd be like the average 18-year-old, but I'm not. And so if I were to go back there again with Goodmommy, I definitely want, even if it wasn't an older stylist, a stylist who is more experienced in how to do hair, my texture, and it's just more mature overall. Nothing bad to say though about the stylist who did my hair, because as Goodmommy said, even though it wasn't what I was expecting or exactly what I was wanting, I'm thankful for the experience regardless.
And I'm quite sure the stylist was definitely thankful to be able to do Goodbaby's hair, because it takes, some knowledge to be able to do Goodbaby's hair. Goodbaby's hair is not easy to do. My hair is not easy to do either, but I'm so used to us as a family having a lot of hair. That's just in our family. We have a lot of hair. Goodbaby's mom has a lot of hair, so I'm very well, I'm experienced with doing a lot of hair. First of all, I've had to do my hair for years. Then I had Goodbaby's mom. I used to have to do her hair. Now I have Goodbaby, and I've done her hair. So I'm very, very, very experienced, probably more experienced than, some of these stylists are when it comes to natural, thick hair. So
Goodmommy could be a hairstylist. And if there's anything that I've taken away from this whole experience, even though I've always felt this way, it just solidifies the fact even more that I'm going to forever let Good Mommy continue to do my hair, because this just goes to show, of course, you have some amazing hairstylists out there, so I'm not going to take it away or say that going to a salon is bad. But when someone who doesn't know you or doesn't know your hair, isn't used to your hair, is doing your hair, not only can they just be a lot rougher because they don't know you, so they don't really care about, you know, how they handle it, because to them you're just a client that they're trying to get finished with. But also, you know, they may come out with this style that you possibly don't like, you know.
I've always experienced that, though, baby. Going to the salon for my entire life, basically, every time I go to the salon, I do not like the outcome of my hair. And it's because, as Good Baby just stated, some stylists just don't know how to do this type of hair. You know, they're used to doing maybe thin hair or some thick hair. But if you take our hair, you know, loose, it's different than what it looks when it's in a protective style. You know, we have that hair that, you know, is thick when you take it loose. It's not anything to play with. You better know what you're doing when you do our hair. That's all I gotta say. So yeah, it can be an experience. I have had some drama and trauma when I'm going to do my hair. I have said so many times I'm never going to get my hair done at a salon, and these were, I mean, senior, when you're talking about senior stylists, I mean senior stylists, and they still could not do my hair to my expectation, to what I like. And so, you know, that's why when people say stuff about my hair, or me doing my hair, or me doing Good Baby hair, it phases out and it goes in one ear and come out the other. I can really care less, because they don't know what we go through when we go and get our hair done. So we know that this was a school we went to today, but as I said, when I go get my hair done, I always experience that. To be honest, this girl did a pretty good job today to be a student. Now, I'm thinking, she showed me some pictures of her, so she knows how to do hair, and she told me that she should have graduated a long time ago, but, you know, what was the word she used?
Life be lifing.
Life be lifing. So she knows how to do hair. I think she's been doing hair for a long time. She's just getting her license now. You know, that's what I'm thinking. You know how you have some people, I know some people in our family, they do hair. They may not have their license, but they know what they're doing. That's because we have that type of family that has a lot of hair. But yeah, I believe she's a student, but she's been doing hair for a long time. But I do not, she may be the first one that I've run across that has done my hair and did an exceptional job, to my liking anyway. Normally when I go to a beauty salon, I come out like with the pick in my hand, doing my own hair, you know, styling. Even before I leave, sometimes I'm like, honey, let me hold the pick. Let me go ahead and get this together, because, you know, I need it right when I walk out. I don't want to, you know, you got to pay $80 to $100 and you still got to style your own hair.
And that's basically what Good Mommy had to do for me, because you all see these little sections right here that she pinned to the back. These sections were not pinned when the stylist did my hair. So
I wasn't going to even say that.
It was nice, don't get me wrong, but it was all in my face. And you all know, if you live in Florida or you've ever been in Florida, this is not the time to have 4C hair in your face. And so once Good Mommy did this when we got home, it was 1,000% better.
She tried her best.
She did. She just doesn't have the experience.
Some people are just not used to, and even when she gets the experience, you got to really know how to do 4C hair to do it. I mean, I have not come across. Now, I do know one person that I believe can do our hair. We may patronize her salon the next time, now that I'm thinking. And it's a young lady who grew up in the neighborhood I grew up in, and she does natural hair. She just didn't come across my mind today, because I was trying to think, who can I get to do my hair? She just didn't come across my mind, but I believe we're going to go to her next and see how she does. I've never been to her as a grown-up, but I know when I was little, she used to braid my hair sometimes, and she still does some of the neighborhood, you know, grown-ups hair now. Now we're grown-ups. We used to be children, and she would be doing our hair. But yeah, I think we're gonna patronize her the next time and see how she does.
I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah, so we just wanted to share our experience with you all. We're not trying to make the school look bad because we're not saying the school's name. We're not saying any of the stylist's name. Even though I had a great stylist, I'm still not saying her name because we don't want to prevent anyone from patronizing the school. Depending on your hair, they may be able to do a really, really good job. All right, y'all, that brings us to the end of this video. And the word of the day is hair. Because, y'all, God has given us a crown of glory that symbolizes authority. And we're so grateful for our hair, honey. It may be 4C, but, honey, we're still grateful. So if you made it to the end of this video, be sure to comment the word of the day, hair, so that Goodbaby and I will know that you stayed until the very end.
As always, if you haven't already, please be sure to give this video a humongous thumbs up and subscribe to our channel down below. Also, please be sure to hit that notification bell so you'll never miss any of our future videos. Click the link in our description box to become a channel member today. Share our channel with your family and friends so our family can continue to grow, and press the hype button beside the comments underneath this video so you can let the YouTube algorithm know that you're enjoying our content and other people will as well.
And don't forget, be good to yourself and be good to others. Love you all. Bye.
Hit the road, let's roll, it's a brand new day. Good mommy and good baby, we're paving the way. Riding in the trailer, everywhere we go. Life's a great adventure, living in the flow. With our hearts